this means it should be working. I believe I can actually go ahead and speed up the center block. And there he is! Agnostic Tome Dictionary of Spirits. Why is your name that? Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Subnauticraft or Oceanblock 2 if you would prefer. Today, I have been alone for too long on this island. Sure, we've got all of our farm animals out here, but that's not companionship. What I seek is companionship. So today, I am going to be claiming my pet, but I'm not just going to be claiming one pet for the series. Oh, no. I am going to be assembling all of the pets that I can recall that I've ever had into this one series. So to start off, let's go for the easiest one, which to get out of the way, which is going to be Sam, our sniffer. Now, for us to get a sniffer's egg, we need some suspicious gravel, and then we need to throw that into our sluice right here. How do we get suspicious gravel? Well, it's actually very easy. We just need some gravel and some grains of infinity over this thing, actually. So I'm going to want to go ahead and break that for now. And I believe I may actually be able to use a temporal pouch on this baby. Yes, we can. Which then gets us our suspicious gravel. So now, if I go ahead and throw this into here, we have a chance of getting our sniffer's egg, which I did not get this time around.
A few moments later.
Okay, I got it. There we go. Oh, that is good. Okay, so I believe, if I remember correctly, to get myself a sniffer's egg, I'm pretty sure I need to plant it on the dirt for it to be able to hatch. But once it does hatch, we will then have our first pet, Sam the Sniffer. So now that we've gotten Sam all ready and ready to go, the next thing we're going to want to get is going to be this Solium spawner, because with a Solium spawner, we will be able to get my next pet, which is going to involve a bit of mystical agriculture. We want to first go ahead and make ourselves some of these prosperity ingots. I believe I only need 2, as I'm only going to need 2 of these Solium ingots, which will now allow us to get a Solium spawner. Now we can go ahead and place this right here, which should be good. I may actually be able to just drop in some smeltables. Okay, yeah, now it's generating power. The next pet that we want, that we're going to use this for, is going to be our sea turtle from the first ocean block, Herbert. But how are we going to get that with mystical agriculture? Well, if we go right over to here, you will find that there is a thing called turtle essence. And this turtle essence is going to allow us to use our Solium spawner to get a turtle spawn egg. That, or it is simply going to spawn one innately. Unfortunately, the torque mod doesn't work with mystical agriculture. This is one of the easiest ones, so of course it's going to take a bit. The next thing that we're going to want to do while we're waiting for Herbert is to get our oldest and dearest pet. Our bestest of best friends in the whole world. Now, a small issue that is going to come from this, though, is this is not like how I thought it was going to be in Neotech, but this time it actually is past the point where wolves have new skins. So with the way I am going to do this, I may not be able to get the right kind of wolf first try to reincarnate Angel once more. But you might be wondering, what exactly am I going to do, and what is this thing that I made? This thing is a mob swab. It is going to allow us to swab a mob for its DNA. So now that we have this, we just need to go ahead and find a wolf. And the reason why I have to use this on the wolf rather than just try to tame the wolf myself is that I don't think I can tame these wolves. Now, for me to find these wolves, I need to go off to these mushroom islands right here. However, it's not always guaranteed that I will get the thing that I need for the wolves. I may very well end up with the wrong one. And it may also need to be nighttime. But it's a good thing that's not right now, as, okay, this isn't the right one.
Later that same evening.
Okay, here we go. I found them. The wolves. Okay. Now, I do want to see if I kill you. Okay, wait. You need to die. Okay, there we go. Now he's dead. And now they're still angry. But they are the correct wolves. Oh, but they're gone. With our mob swab, we now are going to need to grab ourselves. Oh, what was it again? I completely forgot. All right, I need seeds of any kind. And then we're also going to need to grab ourselves a bucket full of experience. Then, what we can do is we can combine the experience with the swab and the seeds. And we get ourselves some GM chicken feed. This is where this is gonna get a little bit messed up. We need to feed this to a chicken. That much is probably easily guessable. But what happens next is where this gets fun. You are the chosen one, chicken. Goodbye. Yay. That was supposed to get me a spawn egg. I was supposed to get a spawn egg from that. Okay, so I think I figured out why the swab wouldn't work. So I grabbed another bit of the DNA from the wolves. And when I look at the tag here, it's summoned wolf DNA. So that's probably why I didn't get an egg from this, is that it's a summoned wolf. So yeah. Yeah, it actually makes perfect sense as to why that one didn't work. So what that means is, at least for right now, Angel is not in the cards. This is a sad day. Alrighty, I got all 12 turtle essence seeds. So now, here we go. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna get the spawn egg, but we should now have ourselves... Herbert! No! No! Oh gosh, he's stuck. Oh, there he is! Herbert the sea turtle, everybody! Oh my gosh, he's not able to be attached to a lead. I guess I just gotta slowly push him back into the home. As you might all see over there, I built a little shack. That is where Herbert will lay. So now, excluding Angel, whom we know we can't really get right now, we have gathered 3 out of all 4 pets that I had, at least that I can recall, that I've had. Number 4 is our good old buddy, Luigi. And Luigi is actually very special in that he's going to be able to help us actually repair our armor, which is really good. Actually, not even just our armor, but any and all tools that we have, anything that has a durability. There is one caveat to this. For us to get Luigi, we gotta do occultism, and it's really close to Easter for me, so this is some fun timing. So for us to get started, what we're going to need is we're gonna need to get ourselves this Demon's Dream right here, and that should be good enough on its own. So now, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to go ahead and take this pretty much anywhere. I can actually go ahead and put this right here, just so that way this can look cool. And what we want to do is we want to throw the Demon's Dream down and then light it on fire. Or I might need an actual flint and steel for this. So let's see. If I go ahead and throw this down and use an actual flint and steel. There we go. Now we have ourselves a spirit fire. So now we're going to need a few things. First and foremost, we are going to need to go ahead and grab ourselves some oak saplings. There we go. And then we can go ahead and throw this in here. Now, we've got an oak sapling, right? But, it's got a neat little trick to it. But that's going to be saved for another second. The next thing that we're going to need is some of this other stone, which is going to require the andesite. So we can go ahead and just make ourselves some of that, throw that into there, and now we have ourselves the other stone. But now, with our oak sapling, our totally normal oak sapling, we're just going to want to go ahead and take this one over here, and then we're going to want to grow it. It looks like a perfectly normal oak tree, right? But if we eat this Demon's Dream fruit, now it is an otherworld log. The last thing we're going to need is we're going to need to get ourselves a Spirit Attuned Gem, which we can make with this recipe, or we can just throw a diamond into our Spirit Fire, which is way easier to get this way than it was in Inferno. These things sucked in Inferno. Oh, and it looks like we're also going to want to get ourselves a spirit attuned crystal. And then we're going to also want to get ourselves this book of binding. Now, we can get it with this little crafting recipe right here, or we can just go ahead and throw a book and quill into the spirit fire. Oh, right. It also wants me to go ahead and smelt down some of the other stone. So once this is smelted, we'll then get ourselves some of this other stone ashes. Well, actually, burnt other stone. Speaking of ashes, though, we're going to want to go ahead and throw some of these logs in here and get ourselves some other world ashes, which we can now go ahead and then combine in here and then get ourselves something called impure white chalk. It is very, very simple. And then I believe we actually just go ahead and throw this in here. And now we get ourselves some white chalk. This pretty much starts up everything that we're going to need to get the rest of this going. We're just going to need to go ahead and get ourselves another one of those white chalks, some gold dust, and some glowstone. And then we can also get ourselves this yellow chalk and continue on with rituals.
Later.
And now I got myself the yellow chalk. So now we are ready to go ahead and start our rituals. We're just going to need to get ourselves some of these sacrificial bowls, one of which we can go ahead and turn into the golden bowl, which is used for all of the rituals. And then after that, we just need to go ahead and then convert the rest of this other stone into a whole bunch of these sacrificial bowls. I believe that should be more than enough for right now, because the amount does vary depending on the ritual. Now, we're also going to want to go ahead and grab ourselves some of these candles, as candles are also used in rituals. So now, with that, we are pretty much prepared for our first ritual, which will not be this one, because the one that it wants me to do here is to summon a crusher spirit. I don't really want to do that, as I kind of want to focus on getting ourselves Luigi. So for us to do that, rather than going into the ritual it wants me to do, we're going to want to go ahead and then open up this ritual right here, which is just a very simple little process right here. And now we can go ahead and then widen up our area to be able to fit this new ritual space, which will change depending on how things go. There we go. Our ritual spot is now ready and raring for us to go ahead and summon Luigi. Now, Luigi is a blacksmith familiar, so for us to be able to summon him, we're going to need 8 additional sacrificial bowls, which are just going to take 4 stone of any kind, iron tools that are not a sword or a hoe, and an anvil, and a book of binding foliate. Now, a book of foliate is actually very easy for me to be able to get. We're just going to need to go ahead and make ourselves some of this blue dye, and then we can go ahead and mix that with our empty book that we have created earlier. After that, we need to mix this book of binding foliate to be able to make ourselves a bound book of binding foliate. And now what we need to do is we just need to go ahead and then plop these items into our ritual things right here. And then the last step would be to put our book of binding right here into the center. However, there is still one last thing that we need to do. This isn't here for every ritual, but for this one in particular, we need a sacrifice, and that is a zombie. So, once again, I am going to go ahead and use the power of chicken feed.
Much later.
All right, so now that I got the zombie spawning, we can go ahead and put the book in, and then we just need to go ahead and then place down the zombie and kill it. And when the purple particles start showing up, it means it's worked. I believe they may be white if it is not working. So this is good. This means it should be working. I believe I can actually go ahead and speed up the center block. And there he is! Agnostic Tome Dictionary of Spirits. Why is your name that? Well, I believe he should still follow me either way. Nope, he's not following me. Have I not, like, unlocked Luigi yet or something? Is that it? Because I know that the whole spirit dictionary thing has like a progression-based thing. Well, I mean, I can pull him with the lead. So, I mean, that's good. But I need to know if this is going to work. Because if he doesn't work in the way that I'm kind of needing him to, we are going to have a small bit of a problem. So it's like, yeah, I don't know why your name is like that, but if I go ahead and drop this, no, okay, see, that doesn't work.
Much later.
Okay, so I decided to do something. I made another ritual, and I decided to actually summon the Crusher Spirit, like this thing had said. And it looks way different than it used to, like way new models. But also, this guy's name is also Agnostic Tome Dictionary of Spirits. So I think maybe I can't use the Agnostic Tome because it might be messing with the names. I don't know. It might also just be glitched in this version, but what that means is that this guy should work. And I don't know why he isn't, because like when I'm like picking up the stone, that's how it used to work. Tried it with cobble, it didn't work, so I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't reach him in the quest line, which was what I was initially thinking. But now with the names being all messed up, I'm even less certain now than I was before. Okay then, but there we go. Now with that, we do have ourselves all of our pets back and ready to go. Even though we weren't able to get Angel, well, how fitting that we got a demon.
Just then.
Can I like summon a wolf with anything? I might be able to. Wait a minute. Yeah, and that one uses Hydrant's lore, so I already have that. Okay, and it'll summon a random mob. Wait, I can still get Angel through something very demonic? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that doesn't look too difficult. It just needs 4 plants of any kind and or cocoa beans, 4 seeds of any kind, and another book of foliate. And this should get me a random animal which has a chance of being a wolf. If it is a wolf, it's a cow. But I know what I need to do now. I am going to keep spamming this until we get Angel.
Many unbearable hours later.
I have finally gotten Angel, or currently Agnostic Tome Dictionary of Spirits. Don't worry, she'll be Angel soon enough once we get ourselves the name tags. But there we go. Oh my gosh, this took forever. Dude, I started out with a stack of both of these and the ritual uses 4. That tells you how many times I have been trying to get you. Oh my gosh, I had almost given up hope. But in the end, we have finally gotten ourselves Angel. We've gotten ourselves Herbert. We've gotten Sam. And we've gotten ourselves Luigi, whose mustache, it looks way different than it did. All I really need to do now is find a name tag, which it's not so easy because when I actually look into the name tag, I'm not seeing anything on how to get it. And I can make myself a glyph of name, but that is going to require a name tag. So as long as I can get just one of those, I should then be able to name the rest of them thanks to some good old Ars Nouveau. So did you like this video? Good. And be sure to check out our last Subnauticraft video where we got ourselves our overpowered weapon. Bye-bye!